Hello. How are you guys? Let's get to this. I'm excited to get working on this. I want to hear this theme in Adlib. So, Tuesday, we successfully made the King's Quest II title theme playback in PC speaker, Tandy 3 voice, and MT32, and partially Adlib. I didn't finish all the instruments for Adlib, so that's what we're going to do today. That probably won't take the whole stream, so after that's done, we'll just see what happens after that, what we do. First thing, I just want to make sure we're hearing everything. Saw wave. I should be hearing something there. Realtek. And it's just not outputting to the right thing. Okay, virtual MIDI synth there. And also those two. There we go. Okay, so I don't have any strings in the Adlib. And also, you know, towards the end, I realized it sounds kind of empty. I need to have some of the French horns behind there or something. Starting right there, it just sounds kind of empty. Let me know if volume's good too. If something's too loud or too quiet, and I'll change it. Okay. I'm gonna mute those. Okay. Maybe just a bit of French horn there. That. Let's get that out of the way first. I'm not going to do more than 2 notes at a time, I think. That might be too much polyphony. Well, I'll give it a shot. Okay. Messed up on the chords there. Just a little taller. Okay. Whoa, what's going on? There. Alright. Now I just have to make it quantized. Although, it might be better for the MT32's polyphony if I don't quantize it, but we'll find out. Alright, everything cuts out at the same time, so we should probably just duplicate that. Well, just there we go. Creative. I didn't record it. I don't like that. Turn off the metronome, I don't need that. Okay, how does that sound? That sounds way off. Let's just quantize it to 16. Oh, no, that messed it right up. Triplet. Closer. Okay. fast. Wow, it's a mess. No, it's got to be triplet. Triplet, and then just move them over a bit. Yeah. Oh, man. My playing is so sloppy, the quantize goes all over the place. Well, that was definitely not liking that. And that's a point right there where I think the polyphony is going a little crazy. Yeah, definitely polyphony. So if I skip it ahead a bit, it plays the notes in order instead, and it doesn't cut out the voices with everything playing at the same time. CR did that a lot. In fact, it was kind of hard. You can go back to the stream where I tried to reverse engineer diagnose the King's Quest 1 theme. Some notes were staggered everywhere, and I had trouble placing the BPM. I'm gonna cut out those first 3 notes there. That's a little soon. A little farther in. Good. Alright, I think I'm happy with that now. Well, let's look at it. Try something here. Cutting out. I need to get rid of one of these harmonies. That could be more on beat, but a hair after. Why does that sound bad? Okay. also I want to copy those timpani hits on every one of those notes. I decided. Right here. Nope. Gotta be... No, I'm on triplet. So it's gonna be like this. There, just... What happens if I just duck that down? I like that better. I like it better that low. It sounds... Yeah, it doesn't sound bad. I'll leave that. Alright, now we've finished the French horn. Let's get back to Adlib. So, I need strings in the Adlib section. But I can't go over the polyphony limit, so Soundbox says, what is it again? Channel properties. Okay, so 11, it counts from 0 in Soundbox, but it's really 1 to 16. So channels 11 and 12 are Adlib. 11 we have 2 voices. How many do we have altogether? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, that's too many. 1, or 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think there can only be a maximum 8 voices. I think I did a test for this. For the original mono ADL Adlib driver, anyway, for the original DOS game. There's a stereo OPL driver that works with this engine that I found. It might have been an aftermarket driver, and it doesn't require a limit. But good morning, Object Zero. Time for Sir Graham. Yay! Time for his theme, anyway. I'm getting a little warm. Temperature's been crazy here in Manitoba. So like 4 or 5 days ago, it was 30 degrees Celsius. And then yesterday morning, it decided to snow. Yep. It snowed, and it was like +2. Last night, it was -7. We had a frost warning. And, is it true you call each other's hosers in Canada? No, but yes. Anyway, today it was 4 degrees, and there's no clouds in the sky. It's sunny, so I think it'll warm up rather quick. It's actually supposed to go right back up to like 27 on Saturday, but that was weird. Okay. So 7 and 8. What are our channels 8 and 9 again? We got the trumpet, timpani. Okay. So everything that says A in it is an Adlib channel. So we got French horn that can use 3 voices, which I had set to. So I don't use any more than 3 at a time, except for here. I did use more than 3. That's not good. I'm going to cut one of those out. Maybe that one. And yet still... I'm not even hearing this note, so I'm going to cut it out. Okay, I'm hearing all the notes there. Got to work with the MT32's polyphony. That's what I'll do. And I'm keeping it. So channel 11 is the strings. And then this is the snare. Okay, this was messed up, actually. When I played this back, this was not playing correctly. I can delete that. If I put it down, I wonder if that makes a difference. Strings. Split you there. Let's just drag you right down. So channel 11 has how many voices? Only 2 voices. Maybe I should make the French horn voice only 2 instead and give the strings more. Because good morning, the Deluxe Tux. Nice to see you. Thanks for joining. How are you this morning? Or whatever time it is, wherever you are. So I gotta cut this down to 2 notes. I'm using like 4 or 5 notes at a time on this channel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 right there. I gotta cut it down to 2. Nah, I think I better make the sacrifice on the French horns instead. Oh, yeah, we got a lot going on there. Alright. French horn's gonna be 2. I'm gonna change the strings to 3. Just which notes to cut out, that's the thing. Maybe the middle one? There's 4 here. Or these are just octaves, so I'll just cut out the middle octave. I don't need the melody at all, do I? Trumpet's doing the melody. The trumpet can carry it in the Adlib version. Yeah, nice to be here. I'm actually being productive at work. Great! Should mark those days down. I should be slacking off. Well, I'll slack off for you. How's that? Totally slacking off at work. See, Mr. Dave's got us covered too. Tux is a classy name. A deluxe classy name, if you will. Sorry. Yeah, I was gonna cut out the middle one. Definitely want to keep that. I wonder... Okay, now, I can't actually hear these channels because I don't have anything assigned to them. But if I select them, as well as, no, just that one, and set their outputs to virtual MIDI synth and set their instruments. I should leave their instruments alone, actually. What's that, 11 and 12? 11 and 12 should be King's Quest 1. It still says it's a clavinet. Oh, because I... No. Oh, because it's only for Tascam. Okay. Well, 11 and 12 I can set there. Okay, there we go. Strings, snare. Okay, it's going to sound like that, but it's not going to be sounding like that in the game. It sounds like a 70s disco or something. Okay, there we go. So right here, we need only 3 voices. That's the root, though. If I get rid of the root, as opposed to this. Yeah, I'll do that. This melody. I don't need it here for Adlib. Okay, going back. This is just octaves, so I only need the one note. These low bass notes are just playing octaves, the same note, just high and low. And I gotta cut out one of the notes here. That's 3 notes. And then we need to copy the snare right here. Split. I think we can just copy it and call it a day. Okay, that piano note is a snare. I don't know if that's going to work for cymbal there. I know there is a cymbal in King's Quest 1. Let's take a look at the King's Quest 1 notes here. So that would be this one. Oh, yeah. Oh, it's changing the... Oh, that's clever. See that it's changing this P2 and P1 here. It's changing because this channel is only one voice. It's only got one voice allotted to it, so you can't play more than one note at a time. And it's not a percussion channel, so it's not like it has a different drum sound for every note, like a traditional drum channel would in MIDI. In general MIDI, anyway, or MT32. This is one instrument, so it's the King's Quest I's patch bank actually has one whole instrument patch dedicated to the snare drum, and every single note is a different pitch of the snare. And there's no cymbal, but it has another instrument set for the cymbal, so it changes instruments with this P2. It changes it to patch 2. See that? To the cymbal quickly, so it can make a cymbal sound, and then it changes back to snare, plays some snare, and then look right here. It's switching back and forth so it can do cymbal snare, and you wouldn't even known that was two different instruments playing. It's like, and it's all on one channel. So I can replicate that, and it doesn't need to do that obviously for the actual percussion channel. If you see here, is it this one? It's not this one. Which channel is the snare? Oh, it's right here. These are all the snare notes, and then you can't see very well, but you can see the snare, cymbal. And so it doesn't have to change notes here, because on the MT32 the percussion channel is channel 10, and it has different drum sounds for every note. You can see they're all listed here: acoustic snare, crash cymbal, tom. You see that? You see the rumor that Ken Williams is creating a new game. Not a rumor. The developer of the game contacted Space Quest historian and asked him to break the news that, well, we've known Ken was fiddling with Unity for a few months now, but this guy's name is Marcus. He's the programmer for the game, and he asked Space Quest historian to break the news that it's actually going to be a game, it's going to be released, and Ken Williams is working on it. Space Quest historian contacted Ken Williams to confirm this, which he did, and he has proof on his video. It's happening. Ken Williams and Roberta Williams are making a game, and it's going to be released. That's exciting. Time will tell. We'll see if it's something good, but I'm excited. I'll give it a chance. It's not going to be like Sierra Online back in its heyday masterpiece, but I like the way they design games, and I liked Ken Williams' approach to directing. If he's going to direct the game, I don't know if he's directing it or not, but if Roberta's involved, which apparently she is, she's writing it. So, and he said he just wants an excuse to code. That's what he said in the past when he was fiddling with Unity. So, yeah, it's actually happening. There's going to be a new Ken Williams and Roberta Williams game. What that looks like, I don't know. If it's going to be an adventure game, who knows? Ken did talk in the past about doing something in the kind of edutainment realm, kind of like Dr. Brain. And he also talked at length about wanting to make something that teaches kids how to program, how to code. So I hope the Williams do better than the Odd Gentleman did with this property. I'm not the biggest detractor of King's Quest 2015. Obviously, I agree they got the tone way off for King's Quest 2015, and it was more like Monkey Island. Like, Graham was more like Guybrush Threepwood in that game than actually King Graham. But I really liked the first chapter. I thought it was really charming, and I had fun with it. And I went in knowing it wasn't going to be a traditional point-and-click classic King's Quest game. I knew that. And Ken and Roberta did sign off on it. They showed them what they were going to be making, and they gave them their blessing, which they probably would to anybody. Just, it'd be probably nice to see your property being used after so many years. But even so, I enjoyed the first chapter. Now, after that, it started going downhill fast, and I think it was largely in part because Activision saw that it wasn't making them as much money as they hoped, and they just slashed their budget, and you can really tell by the end of it, it was just crippling to the finish line. And there were several months between releases, and I think it's kind of a shame. They got dealt a bad card, but I enjoyed the first chapter. But yeah, I hope what they do is better than that. I agree with that. So anyway, we were talking about this. Yeah, so I gotta change patches between. Okay, so I just gotta figure out. I can figure out what notes it's changing to, what instruments it's changing to by going to event list. This shows all the MIDI commands. So it's changing the patch to snare, and I can look it up right here. Snare is because I have the whole King's Quest 1 patch bank mapped out. So if I go here, define, you can see them all right here. In here. So the first instrument is a tom. The second one, computers number thing from 0 to its maximum number, 127 in this case, instead of 1 to 128. So 0 for a tom. The next one's the snare, the ride cymbal, the tom, and then a creak. So it's going through, like, there's actual sound effects on the MT32 patch list. And that's how they did that. And it remaps some of the stock MT32 instruments from their default number to a different number for whatever reason. We got fantasy, pizzicato strings, zap, frog, question mark. You don't know what that is? And I could go through and perform all of these, like, so let's just go to anyone here. Trumpet. So that's the first instrument. There's the snare. This is the snare that the whole game uses for MT32. The MT32 or for Adlib, sorry. For MT32 and Adlib, they share the same instrument patch list. Like the order of instruments anyway. They obviously have different sounds, and there's a patch bank separate for Adlib as there is for MT32, but it's in the same order because that saves on resources to be able to share the same lists, so they can use the same channels for the same instruments sometimes. Like the French horn is you see it says AIM. When the tool I used to export sounds from King's Quest 1 named the channels appropriately based on what devices they were meant for. So channel 2 here is meant for Adlib, MT32, and I think that's IBM Music Feature Card, the I. And you can see it says 1, which means it was only allotted one voice. But I'm changing that. I'm changing mine to allot 3. And the trumpet was allotted one voice. Again, Adlib, IBM Music Feature Card, and MT32. Up here it says TS0. That means Tandy and PC speaker. Tandy speaker. So the Tandy and the speaker use this channel. And then this is just T and T for the other two Tandy channels. So that's how that works. AI3, so this one uses 3 voices. AI1 uses 1 voice. I'm not sure what the exclamation point is. Oh, maybe that means percussion. I'll have to check that out. What does this say? Channel 9. Yeah, it's just MT32, but it has an exclamation point. It probably just has something to do with, because usually in general MIDI and MT32, and it's just a convention that channel 10 is the percussion channel. You can't use instruments on it, you can only use percussion. And if you try to change instruments, it changes different types of kits. In MT32, there's only one kit, but anyhow. And then channel 16, it's got a star, an asterisk. I think that's reserved for all the loop points and cue points, which don't translate to any MIDI commands, any standard MIDI commands, so they aren't exported. But channel 5 down here, or 15, is actually channel 16. This is where all the loop information would be, which we can input later in SCI Companion. Yeah, so that's the snare, ride cymbal, another tom, and there's the creak. So I actually use this sound in King's Quest 3 Redux for Manannan's Mansion. When you're walking around, the ambient sound effects of the wood creaking and stuff. You just kind of, it's just the one sound. It sounds like a tap, but if you play it in sequence, it sounds like a creaking door or something. That's how they did sound effects on the MT32, which is pretty clever. We got a slap bass. Bass Quest 3. They got a French horn, a strings, a xylophone. Points to whoever knows what this is. Someone post in the chat or on the YouTube comments. See if you know what that is. I'll give you some points. MT32 definitely works for some sounds really well and others it struggles with. Yes. Piano, it's horrible with. Sadly, the King's Quest 1 actually does use a piano for the final theme, acoustic piano. It's not the best sounding piano ever. What's that song? Oh, that's not how it goes. Sorry. I don't know how to play the rest of it. Incantations, Part 4. Yes. Good one. Specifically, Queen and Huntress at the very end of the album. Good one. You get all the points. Oh, you're a huge Mike fan. Me too. Mike Oldfield is my biggest inspiration ever. He inspired me to play guitar and pick up music in general. And then, okay, so Mike Oldfield and the Sierra Composers together. I have all of his albums on a guitar-shaped CD rack on my right here. I can't show you right now, but it's there, I promise. And I have every single one of his albums. Well, almost. I gotta complete a collection with a couple. Also, in North America, we don't get the... my favorite album is Songs of Distant Earth, based on the Arthur C. Clarke novel. And in North America, we only get this version with this cover. But I had a friend over in Europe get me this copy, which has the original Mac only CD-ROM track, which has a little mini game on it, which was inspired by Myst, actually. And you can walk around the ship in first person, like in Myst, nodes from screen to screen. But it only works on an original Mac. And they never sold it over here in North America, but I was lucky to get myself a copy. Favorite album, best version of it. This was actually the very first enhanced CD ever made, which has music on it and then a hidden data track. Very first one, which I didn't know. Anyway, so that's how it works. There's different instruments. What's that frog note anyway? Sounds like a saxophone note. Zap. That would be the sound probably for the witch appearing and transporting you into the cauldron and stuff like that. Bubbles. MT32 was something special, wasn't it? Slow square wave. I love this instrument. A fall. I can go for as long as you need it to, depending on how high he's falling. And a crash. Drop bells. Vox ambience. Okay, so this is probably used for like water rustling. It's just called ambience. There's no other eerie. The wolf. There's that famous bird tweet sound. I'll be using that. A high tweet. A water stream, a sizzle. I wonder what that's supposed to be. There's also a famous cricket sound that's used in like everything Sierra did, and even Tom used it in the King's Quest 2 Plus soundtrack. Doesn't look like it's here though. Door shut. It's like a hand clapping sound almost. It's interesting how clever they were in using the capabilities of the MT32 to make instruments sound like sound effects, which is why it's so much better for games that also support the sound canvas. If they supported MT32 as well, chances are it was made for it. Well, the early ones anyway. So, like Space Quest 4 sounds way better on the MT32, even the CD version, even though it supports the sound canvas and General MIDI, because it has all these sound effects that the General MIDI just can't reproduce. That's the copy I have with the dolphins. Yeah. The dolphins? Is there dolphins on it? Where'd it go? Manta rays. There's no dolphins. Those are flying manta rays. This one has one manta ray as well in the sky, but this one has 3, so that means it's better. It was my first mic album. Oh, was it? Mine was, okay, well, little tangent, Mike Oldfield tangent now. I grew up listening to my dad's Mike Oldfield tapes, and then I used his tape so much that he taped off my own tape for me, and it had on it, Evacuation, of all things, from The Killing Fields, the one movie he scored, which I loved Evacuation because he used the Fairlight, which was a very comprehensive synth back then. It came with a computer, monitor, and a keyboard, and he did a lot of his 80s stuff with that Fairlight. I think I listened to that album 1,000 times because I would throw it on while I ate lunch in the library back office. I listened to it all the time. I was pretty shy and quiet as a kid and very inward into myself. And I used to listen to that album all the time when I felt like sad that I didn't have very many friends. I was just being a little emo, but anyway, it's a very special album for me anyway. I love the music. I love the atmosphere. It's my favorite one. Even though he's probably technically done things better, like Amarok is probably his most technically impressive album he's ever done. Anyway, that tape had Evacuation. I used to joke around that I always said I was never really into popular music, and I tell people, while everyone else was listening to, this or that on the radio, I was listening to Mike Oldfield's Evacuation. YouTube that just to see what it sounds like for those who don't know. It's a weird song. But it's for a movie, so. Evacuation, and then it had Hergest Ridge, Part 1 on it, and abridged versions of Incantations 1, 2, and 4. I don't think 3 was I even had 3. And then my dad bought Tubular Bells 2 when it first came out. And I used to listen to that all over and over again. And I had, that Christmas, I got the comic book of the Aladdin movie, the Disney Aladdin movie that wasn't out yet, which became my favorite Disney movie ever. And I used to read the comic while listening to Sentinel, the opening track of Tubular Bells 2, and so it sounded all mysterious, and I just imagined this is how the movie would sound. It doesn't sound anything like it, but it was fun reading the book while listening to Tubular Bells 2. And then he got Songs of Distant Earth and Tubular Bells 1 on CD shortly after that. I still have that. Oh, I got them all here, but this one here, and my dad let me have it. It's the same one that he bought back then. He's even got his name still written on the inside. I have strong feelings for Tubular Bells 2 as well. I know a lot of people don't care for it as much because it's not as raw and visceral as Tubular Bells 1, but there's certain parts of it that I really like too. Okay, short tangent over. What were we doing? So the snare and the cymbal. Okay, so it changes instruments. We're gonna have to do that. So I'm going to have to change instruments right there. Each time I change notes. So let's go to the event list. View event list. See, I can't. It already carried over some of them right there, but not others. What's this? So every time those cymbals try to sound there, I have to change the notes. So let's go with right here, insert a MIDI event. It's going to be a patch change, normal. It's going to change to the crash cymbal. Crash, crash, crash. Crash cymbal? Crash, way down here. It's going to sound like a guitar every time, but it's not. And then it has to change back after that. So let's say we insert another event here, change the type to patch change, and set it back to snare right there. And now I can just copy that, I think. But I'm going to change this to like 18, the 18th measure, so it's in between. See, it's showing up here now. Oh, 29. The other one said 2. What is instrument 2 again? 0, 1. 2 is the ride cymbal. So King's Quest 1 used the ride cymbal instead. Let's just play it and see. I just want to make sure I'm getting everything right here. Edit resource. Is it still MT32? It is not MT32. Oh. That's wrong. That's not the correct driver. So, oh, and I think I know why too. Munt, yeah. So the Munt emulator I installed as a driver, it keeps randomly uninstalling itself, and I have to keep installing it. You can see it's not on the list anymore. It used to be number 2. It's actually using the Adlib synth emulator now, because that's now number 2. And you can see it sets the MIDI configuration right here, the second MIDI device. And you find out what the numbers are by going to the Z drive, typing mixer /list MIDI, and it shows you all the MIDI devices your system has. And then you'd set them here in MIDI config if your MIDI device is set to Win32, or default in this case. So I gotta install Munt again. Hang on. Drivers. Munt. Just have to do this once, and it should be done. It's kind of annoying. I have to keep doing it right after one after the other, but that's ScumVM. That's not DOSBox. Whoops. List MIDI. There. MT32 emulator is now number 2. So, we go... Gotta lurk for work. Back in a bit. Thank you, Mr. Dave. Feel free to lurk. Anybody feel free to lurk. I welcome lurkers. Thanks for sharing that, though. I could geek out about that music for hours, and I don't know many other fans. I agree with you about Tubular Bells, too, as well. Yeah, nice to meet another fan. I rarely run into them. I know what Space Quest Historian is a Mike Oldfield fan. He was a big proponent of Tubular Bells 1, and he said that was his inspiration because he saw for the first time it kind of clicked for him that multi-track recording was a thing when he listened to Tubular Bells and read the line notes and said that one man played everything, which just kind of opened his mind. And it did that to me too, but that was his whole inspiration for, wow, I could do this. I enjoyed listening to his story about that. So now this should be MT32 anyway. Lovely. Okay, let's just listen to the theme for a bit here. So that's a regular crash cymbal right there. Oh, you know what? It's not the MT32 we need to be listening to anyway. It is the Adlib. Let me just hear what the crashes are, though. It's using that same... It's not using the crash, it's definitely using the ride. No, it used the crash. What am I talking about? Or a hi-hat, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, for Adlib, it probably sounds better if you play the ride instrument. So we go... We need Adlib. Adlib has a special place in my heart. You grow up with it, it becomes super nostalgic. Takes you right back to those DOS days as a kid, doesn't it? So yeah, that symbol it used there, it'll come up again. I want to use exactly that sound, so I'm going to have to use the same instrument it does. Which is... and will be, likely, not patch 29, but patch 2. So going back to the MIDI list, MIDI event list here, we'll change it from crash to ride symbol. Yeah, patch 2. Wow. Those were extra long for some reason. So I'll cut them out right when a snare is sounding, because we have to switch instruments every time it does that. Which is fine for Adlib. There. Just every single time we have to do that. So these are controllers. That won't show the patch changes, though, I don't think. Is there a way to show that?
Can we show patch change? No, because controllers are different. No. So it's not quite as easily visible, but it's okay. What I can do is yeah, there's nothing in the beginning. Okay. What are those those events there? Event list, Alt-8. I gotta remember these. Control. It's setting control for something. I don't think I want that. Okay, it's setting the patch instruments. I don't know what Control 78 does. What is that? MIDI controller 78. What is controller 78 usually used for? You gotta look this stuff up sometimes. Generic, some manufacturers may use to further shave their sounds. So it's not a standard set one. There's a bunch of... There are a few MIDI controllers. It goes all the way up to 128, just like instruments. Because everything on the computer runs by factors of 2 or 4 or 8. So there are certain controllers that are used for standard things like I'll just quick. No, I won't do that. But well, I'll just do this controller. So there's some set ones. So 1 is modulation, 2 is breath, 3 is empty, 4 is the foot controller, 5 portamento time. So there's certain things like 7 is volume. So if you wanted to change the volume, you'd use controller 7 as a MIDI event. This is how it records it and logs it. Balance, panning is controller 10. So, and these are standard pretty well across MIDI devices. Expression. And then 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 20, they're all blank, and they're not unusable. Like, if a certain synth manufacturer wanted to utilize these controllers for extra features that standard general MIDI or even MT32 can't support, it just doesn't support. But maybe somebody makes a general MIDI compatible synth, but uses some extra controllers to control other features of the sound, like say, usually the modulation is how fast it's vibratos, so as opposed to you know, and there could be other things that control other features like a high pass or a low pass frequency or something. Like something to change the nature of the synth sound anyway. They could use any of these 128 controllers to do that. But usually they'll just stick to the blank ones so they can retain standardization across devices for certain things like pedal, sustain pedal. So when you push on a piano sustain pedal so the note holds even when you stop pressing on it, that's what controller 64 is for. And there's the different pedals there and hold and stuff. So that's how that works. Anyway, so I don't know what 78 does. Obviously, it's an MT32 thing. I wonder what it is on the MT32. MT32 controller 78. Maybe it controls something. I'd probably have to dig into the manual, though, because there's not a lot of information just on the internet about the MT32. Excuse me. Yeah, I'm not going to dig into that right now, but something to look into for later. All right. So let's start changing these notes here. So ride cymbal and then back to snare. Please stop. Why does it keep going back there? So there's the D flat 4 is the symbol. So we're going to insert another event, and then we'll just change it, whoops, to patch change. Back to ride symbol, and then go back. Patch change. Set it back to snare. And I'm also going to set it slightly earlier. So I need another one there. Actually, I can just copy it. So patch change to ride symbol. No, that's not going to work because I'm copying the timing too. All right. Insert event. We'll just do it every time. Patch change. Ride symbol. Back right here. Sounds horrible, but it's going to sound great in Adlib, I promise. Patch change. Ride. And then back. Bit tedious, but hey. Gotta be done. Guess this will take a little bit longer than I thought. That's okay. It's getting done. Patch change. We're going to set that back to snare. Here's where it goes crazy. So just 6 more to do. 1. Let's make copies of these ahead of time. Keep doing this later. All right. The home stretch. I wish I could batch do this, like select them all and do the same thing, but I don't think I can do that. And now that I'm this far in, I don't want to find out. I don't want to find out that I could have. There. Let's test that. Okay, those are snares and crashes. I promise. All right, save. What else are we forgetting? Anything? I think I've only got 3 notes playing at a time through this entire channel. And 3 there. So that's 6, 7, 8. And then that's more than, that's too many. We've got 3 here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have 1 too many. Let's just try it and see what happens first. All right. Import MIDI. Where are we going here? Up, up. Files, sound files. Okay, so go through the channel properties. None of them are set. They're all set to general MIDI. Okay, first I'm going to use SCI companion and import. Okay, main theme, import MIDI. Okay, there we go. And it's just faster to do it this way first. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 is MC32 always. Channels 2 to 10. Yamaha. I think that's the same as the Adlibs. So we'll go 2, 8, 9, 11, 12. Wait, what does this say? Yeah, I. 5 of them. Same as Adlib. 2, 8, 9, 11, 12. I'm not sure if Adlib is limited to specific channels or not. I don't think it is. But MT32 definitely is. And so I'm just matching up with King's Quest 1's placement. Okay, Casio is probably Adlib too. I'm not going to support it though. Tandy, 1, 2, 3. PC speaker is channel 1 only. No Amiga Mac. And no general MIDI. That should be it. Save. Used by another process. Is it? What's using it? What process is using it? I don't have DOSBox open. Oh, I have it open in SCI viewer. That's why. There we go. Rebuild, and then quickly going to export as a patch file. sound 1, chan props not set. And then I gotta open it in Soundbox. And set the channel properties. And there's no way to do this in SCI Companion. I have to use Soundbox. The problem is SCI Companion supports up to SCI 1.1 games, so VGA point and click with talkies, speech, voices, games, and the sound files are a different format, so Soundbox won't support them. So it's you have to come up with some way to. Why did everything just? Oh, I hate that gesture. If you shake a window around, it thinks you want to minimize everything. I never use that, and then when it happens, I'm like, no, I didn't want to do that. So I got to do it in Soundbox, but it's only possible for EGA games for now. So the source for Soundbox is out there, and I've got it. So I'm going to try to fiddle with it. I'm not a very good programmer, not very experienced, but maybe I can jury rig something from Soundbox and plug it into SCI Companion so it can do this little feature thing that I want it to do. So we have empty Adlib. So that's the French horn. It needs 3 voices. 8 has 1. 9 has 1. 11 has 3. 12 has 1. I'm not sure if it's going to play all the instruments, but we're going to find out. Save as sound 1, chan props set. And go back here and re-import this one more time. As resource 1, title theme. And shall we try it out? See what happens. Make sure it's Adlib. It's not. That's not right. It's only playing the timpani. But it's playing the snare, so that's good. Alright, I gotta figure out what's wrong there. Channel properties. Channel 1, 3 voices. Maybe it's because it went overboard. So if I cut channel 11 down to 2 voices, maybe? No, I'll get the French horn down to 2 voices. Oh shoot, I just saved over it. Whatever. Import. Title theme. Rebuild. Come on now. ScumVM. No, I don't want ScumVM. I want DOSBox. DOSBox is king. Oops, not Sierra. Oh, something weird is going on. Channel 2 is the French horn. What's going on? What does this binary number mean? How many ones is that? 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's just copy it. 7FC0, decimal number 32,704. Is that the file size? It's only 20K. Maybe that's in bytes. No, it's not in bytes. I wonder what that means. Doesn't matter. Adlib. It's gonna sound all wrong because okay, let's take off. Maybe we'll just take off Casio. Oh, it already is off. 2 to 10, 2, 8, 9, 11, 12. Yeah, take off Yamaha. General MIDI, Amiga Mac, PC speaker, Tandy 3 voice, Casio, Adlib, 2, 8, 9, 11, 12. That's right. Save. Nope. Now it's even worse. If that's possible. It was working on Tuesday. So what happened between now and Tuesday? Now it's not even doing the timpani. Okay, if we just reinitialize everything. I'm gonna do this to new that. Well, what's going on? CopyCon doesn't work in DOSBox? Really? Oh, Scummy M again. Alright, edit, that. Go off, colon, CD, 9, CI, 2, CI, 2, new, CIV. What? CI GAM. Oh, the M. I forgot the M. That should do it. Name. Just do KQ2. Oh, wrong KQ2. Wrong one. Dang. All right. KQ2. New. There we go. Nothing. What's wrong? It's not playing a thing. Adlib. Now, when I chose Adlib, it didn't respect that I just wanted to play Adlib, did it? Oh no, it is now. No other options than this. set for Adlib. Is there something else I'm missing? Other than initial voices? Let's just get rid of the Yamaha crap. Oh, that's not right. 2, 3, 1. Oh, this is wrong too. Okay, I think I had the... Yeah, I got mixed up with the 0 to 15, 1 to 16 stuff again. There should be 7 and 8. And then channel 1 is 2 voices. So, of course, I set the first channel correctly, but the French horn doesn't start playing until halfway through the song. So, okay, that's probably what it was. And I might as well just re-enable the Yamaha. 7, 8, 10, 11. Okay. Save as. Just go away. We don't need you. And then import. 1 title theme. Rebuild. Okay. This should work. I'm excited now. There we go. Snare is good. Some overlap there. French horn. And it's going between cymbal and snare correctly. French horn's pretty loud though. That's lovely. Beautiful. So we got Adlib, we got MT32, we got PC speaker, we got Tandy voice, we got IBM music feature card probably. I have no way of testing the IBM music feature card because I don't have one and I don't think there's an emulator for it. But that's exciting. Okay, we got about a half hour left. What else can we do? So I think I can safely call the title theme finished. Let's look through the game. Got the pictures. It's just a fluke that when I full screen this, the map layout is just perfect. From the far left to the far right. The beach to the mountain cliffside. And then the island right in the middle. Maybe I could start on another theme, so... I wonder if King's Quest 1 wouldn't have a seashoreline seagull type sound. I could pull that from King's Quest 6. I know it has sound effects for that on the MT32 that I can copy. But if I do that, well, no, I could, because I have a way to create MT32 custom patch instrument lists for the game, but there's also a way to do it for Adlib. It's just a lot more cumbersome, but I probably could do it if I spent some time on it. It involves using a program called INS Maker, Instrument Maker, by Creative Labs or by Adlib. Anyway, it creates custom Adlib patch banks, and then New Rising Sun, famous Sierra patch maker and game tweaker, created a program to convert INS bank files to Sierra patch files, which SCI can use. So that's good. There's not really any music that would be played on the overworld. I could make some. Just trying to think how authentic I want to be. In King's Quest 1, there was no music. King's Quest 4, there's not really any music. Unless you run into something. I will have a theme for when the mermaid appears. And definitely a theme for the swampy areas here. Though I can't decide if I want to play it only when the castle's in view, or maybe on like just these 3 screens, or on all of these. Well, this and this would be a different theme, but everything around it maybe would play the same theme, and as you walk around, the music would continue to play. And it'd be something really creepy, because the images are going to be a lot more stark and contrasting to the rest of the world than in the AGI original. Like, here it's just, oh, there's some dead ground and some teal-colored, questionably looking water. But I'm gonna make it like dark clouds and very moody, and it's gonna be a totally different area when you touch a screen that has the swamp on it. I won't have a theme for the antique shop until you go inside it. I'm still trying to decide if I want to do a custom point chime sound effect or make a new one for this game specifically. Inside the Dwarf's Treehouse will have a custom theme. Inside Hagatha's Cave will have a custom theme. Obviously these will all have custom themes. The Tower Realm. The Space Quest demo. Which I'm thinking of redoing the Space Quest demo Hole in the Rock scenes to remake the original AGI screens in SCI instead of using the VGA screens, the remake screens. So here's the 2 options I had for. So this one here is the one I ended up with. This uses the banner from King's Quest 4 in all gold letters and everything, and this is the version from King's Quest 1, and I recolored it to have. See, I got another one in blue, and then it just kind of, the other 2 I don't have. So I was trying to decide, because King's Quest 1's is kind of a chrome lettering, and a alphanumeric 2 instead of a Roman numeral. So I'm like, I could be different, and I was thinking maybe I'll make it blue instead of red, just to be different. And I still haven't decided, honestly, if I should do red or blue. So blue with gold, as opposed to the original red with chrome. Or just stick with the red and just keep the letters gold. Like, kind of a mix of King's Quest 4 and King's Quest 1. But with this Roman numeral instead. So, let me know if you have a preference for that. Still looking here. Now, I'm probably going to go through the game and make a list of possible locations for music, like that have important objects. Not for here. This would just have the brooch. It's just not an item you need to have. Just somewhere to find something. Not for here. There's nothing interesting going on here. This is one screen that Hagatha shows up, actually. Red Riding Hood is here. I can make a Red Riding Hood theme. That's something, because she shows up randomly. The Batman theme cave theme, when the Batmobile comes out. I am going to preserve that Easter egg. I haven't decided how I'm going to do it. If I'm just going to duplicate it exactly by using the 60s Batman car and then the Batman song, or if I do something more like Batman 89. I know in King's Quest 2 Plus by AGDI, They had the 89 Batmobile coming in and out, but it was still the Batman 60s theme that played. I could do the 89 Batmobile and then use Tim Burton's or Danny Elfman's Batman music instead, because I like it better. There's ideas for that. Not a whole lot of areas to visit. I know that the cave at the top of the cliff could have a theme, maybe even the snake here. I have to play through King's Quest 1 and see how many more themes that game has. Like the Fairy Godmother is another one. I'll probably just copy that from... no, I won't copy it. Or will I? I don't know what I'll do yet. In King's Quest 1 is a Fairy Godmother. In King's Quest 2 it was a fairy, right? It wasn't a Fairy Godmother? I wonder what I was. AGI... No, let's win AGI. But that's okay. I got Space Quest 2 opened here. Logic. Okay, I know the fairy appears on the church screen, so logic 6. Fairy. Nope. Oh, 151 and 154. So this has regions and locales, just like SCI does. That's impressive for AGI, which means you load another script, and it would reference that same script for similar rooms. Like, so any room with water in it, I have a water region script, and that room script would reference that one script every time. Any room with water would reference that one script instead of having multiple copies of the same code. So AGI does the same thing, which makes sense, but I didn't, for some reason I didn't think they would do that. I didn't think it would be possible in AGI. Many trees shade your ways, you journey through the land of Kalima. So this is the forest one. And what was the other one? 154? Beautiful fairy floats down from the sky. Yeah, so in King's Quest 2 it's just a fairy. It's not your fairy godmother. So I'm going to have to use a different sprite for that. I was going to copy it from King's Quest 1, but that's too lazy. And it's a different character anyway, so we get to do that over. And supply of fairy dust. Yes, so... maybe I'll just call it a little early then. I usually stop at 11. Sometimes I go to 11:30, but got some other stuff to do today, so I'll just call it here. So we finished the title theme. That's exciting. Thanks everyone for checking that out with me. And I will stream again on Tuesday. Probably get back to some programming. Every week I try to do something new. I know it's been mixed up a little the past couple of weeks because one Thursday I couldn't stream, so I had to catch up the next week. But I think we're back on track now, so next week will be programming. Then the week after will be some artwork of some kind, and then back to music again the week after that. So I try to go in 3-week cycles like that. So Tuesday, Thursday, 9 a.m. Central-ish, join me, and we'll keep working on King's Quest 2. Bit by bit, we'll get there. Thank you all for joining. Lurk today, still enjoying the stream. Keep it up. Thank you, Critical Buzz. I appreciate it. This was a ton of fun. I will def be back. Good. I'm glad. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm glad this is interesting to people. And yeah, I'll definitely be back on Tuesday, and we'll keep going. So thanks everyone for joining. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.